Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and today we're going to continue talk about High Fidelity. That's right, High Fidelity, that wonderful movie from the year 2000. Okay, I'm Diego, and what I do here is I give you a straight man's point of view. So I'm going to talk to you the way I would talk to any normal person about stuff. Okay, now I decided to go into the rom-com chick flick genre. Because I've seen a lot of them in my life, and a lot of them are just bullshit. They're fucking bullshit. All right, and someone needs to call out this shit. Okay, now I get it. You can say that a lot of things in the guy movies are bullshit. Yes, absolutely. Fast and Furious is bullshit. I'm the first one to admit it. I still enjoy it, but I know it's bullshit. I know that shit's never gonna fucking happen to me. Same thing with Transformers. Same thing with all the superhero movies. I already know on a level that I already know that's bullshit. I'm just there to be entertained. Okay. The problem with the rom-com, the problem with the chick flicks, is that girls watch this shit and they think that this shit's actually gonna fucking happen to them in real life. Okay, and that's what I'm here to do, to point out the bullshit. No, okay, I've seen a lot of fucking shitty fucking chick flicks, and I've seen a lot of good ones too. I've seen a few good ones as well. And this is one of them, but this is a separate category, okay? This is a chick flick for guys, okay? Yes, a rom-com for guys, from a guy's point of view. That's the difference. That's the biggest difference, okay? Now, you could probably say there's a lot of rom-coms, or there's a lot of chick flicks, a lot of romances and shit, where the guy is the main character. That is true, okay? But those guys act like bitches, okay? They don't act like men. They act like girls. Okay, they act like fucking girls, all right? And I don't want to see that shit. That's not a good example of a rom-com. I want to see men act like fucking men. Okay, and I shouldn't have to see a guy movie to get that. Okay, I should be able to see, we should be able to go into both genres, all right, and still see accurate representations. Okay, as far as I can see, at least in the past 20 years, action movies are pretty much fair to the women involved. They don't treat them like shit. Lately, it's actually been worse. The girls have been the ones that are fucking that are stronger than the men. And yeah, think about it. Look at that. Look at fucking Captain Marvel. Look at fucking the sequel trilogy for Star Wars. Rey can do no fucking wrong. She's just born fucking better than any guy that ever fucking lived. There's shit like that. They call it the Mary Sue, and it pisses me out because this is supposed to be a guy genre, and you just throw girls in there that haven't earned a goddamn thing, but they're automatically better than all the men in there, and that's going to turn people off. No one wants to see that. They did that with He-Man. They've done that a lot lately. Okay, nobody wants to see that. Okay, that's why those movies are flopping big time. Okay, but whenever you go into like the female-dominated genres, they usually get the women right because women will call out bullshit if they see women not being represented correctly in a fucking chick flick. They're going to call it out, okay? But guys don't give a shit because they don't watch that stuff, okay? We only give a shit when you go into our genre and we start seeing this bullshit, okay? And then it's like, no more of that. All right, so I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to go into your fucking genre and call out the fucking bullshit, okay? I'm going to call it out, all right? Because somebody needs to tell the truth. And ladies, if you're watching this, you really need to know the truth, okay? You need to know what guys really think. I'm going to tell you the honest God truth, okay? Whether you like it or not. If this hurts your feelings, I'm sorry. If you're easily offended, get the fuck out right now, okay? Because I'm going to tell you the honest God truth from a straight man's point of view. Now, luckily, this subtext that I'm doing right here, this topic here, is chick flicks for guys. Okay, so if you watch this movie, you're going to understand a lot about the way guys think about girlfriends, about how they think about their wives, how they think about relationships, the mistakes that they make, and the things that they do right. Okay, so yeah, that's what this movie deals with. It deals with all the things that a chick flick deals with, but it does it from a guy's point of view, and the guy still acts like a guy. Okay, now the main character here, his name is Rob Gordon. He's played by John Cusack, who's from Chicago. So the movie takes place in Chicago, even though the book was written by Nick Hornsby in England, in London, and in the book it takes place in London. Okay, but in the movie it takes place in Chicago. All right. It takes place in my neighborhood in Chicago where I lived. All these places that he goes to, that we go to in this movie, are places that I've been to many times. Like I said, I lived in the neighborhood. I know that area very well. I know where everything is. Okay. Which is another reason I like this movie so much. It literally hits close to home, literally. Okay, so yeah, I used to live in Chicago. I used to live in that neighborhood. So absolutely, I understand what it's like to be a 20-something-year-old, working your way through the dating life in Chicago. I know exactly what that's like. I've been to all these fucking bars that he's been to in this movie. I know the fucking lifestyle. Okay, if you were to substitute fucking, he owns a record store. He knows everything. He's a record nerd. He knows everything about fucking records. Okay, and music. Although he's not a musician, he just criticizes music. He doesn't actually make music himself. Okay, he knows everything about it. His two best friends, who are his employees at the record store, they know everything about music. They act like these fucking cultural elitists because they know more about music than anybody else. They think they're better than everybody else. But the truth is, they're not. Okay, they're actually and they're fucking big fish in a very, very small pond. Okay, now the movie's about Rob's dating life. Okay, his love life particularly. All the girlfriends he's had that he's been in love with have broken his heart. They've all cheated on him. They've all dumped him for other guys. He can't understand why this keeps happening. In the beginning of the movie, it happens again. His current girlfriend Laura dumps him. We find out later on that she dumped him for the neighbor. Okay, there was a guy that used to live upstairs from them. They used to fuck all the time. They could hear him fucking. Well, I guess she wanted a piece of that action. So one day he just comes home and she tells him, "I'm getting the fuck out of here," and she fucking leaves him. She leaves him, and he doesn't understand why. Later on, he finds out that it was for the neighbor. He also moved out, but he moved out 6 weeks earlier. Okay, so now she's living with him, the other guy. His name's Ian. Okay, and he fucking hates this guy. This reminds him of the time that he got his heart broken by Catherine Zeta-Jones's character, who her name is Charlie Nicholson, and she was like in his eyes, she's a beautiful woman, but she ain't a 10. She's not. I'm sorry, she's not a 10. I'll give her like an 8, maybe 7 or 8. I'm being generous here. Okay, 7 or 8, I give her. Okay, she's a beautiful woman, but she's not a 10. Okay, but Rob saw her as a 10. She was someone who was above him. She was out of his league. Okay, he couldn't believe that she would date him. And the whole 2 years that he was with her, dating her, okay, he was always afraid that he wasn't good in bed. That maybe she would leave him for a better-looking guy who was more successful with more self-confidence. And guess what happened? She left him for a guy who was better-looking, more successful, and more self-confident. Okay, so that broke his heart. That broke him. Okay, we see the big scene with him in the rain, crying in the rain, screaming in the rain when he sees Charlie with another guy. Okay, that broke him. Okay, and that set him into this fucking this downward spiral in his life. I would honestly say he was already going there, but this just confirmed all his insecurities. It just got confirmed. All right, so he got hurt really bad. Excuse me. So now we're dealing with his current girlfriend, Laura, has also done this. So when he finds out that Laura is sleeping with the neighbor, he relives all that pain again. So he wants that closure. He wants to understand why. He comes up with a top 5 list of the girls that broke his heart. He wants to understand why this is happening to him. So he's going to hunt down every single fucking girl to find out what the fuck happened, okay? He's already been through all of them. He called Charlie. Okay, he left her a message. She wasn't in the country, okay, but now she is back. She is back in the United States. She's back in the country, and she calls him back. All right. So he talks to her on the phone, and she asks him, "Are you in or out?" Which basically means like, "Are you cool? Are you nice? Do you want to be friends, or do you want to just fucking ask me about why we broke up and rehash all that shit that happened years ago? Because if that's what you want to do, okay, I got a lot of guys that are calling, blowing up my phone right now, wanting to know what the fuck happened. Why did I dump them? And I really don't want to go through that territory anymore. Okay, I want to rehash old shit. So if that's all you want from me, then I really don't want to see you anymore. Okay, but if you just want to be cool with me and you just want to be friends, absolutely. In fact, I'm going to invite you to a party with my friends tomorrow night if you want to come." He wants to come. He's excited to see Charlie again, despite the fact this girl fucking broke him in half, metaphorically, spiritually, emotionally broke him in half. All right. So after he has some fantasies about beating the shit out of Ian, that's the guy that his current ex-girlfriend, Laura, cheated on him with. He has fantasies about beating the shit out of him when he comes to a store because he has been stalking them. He has been harassing them, okay, which is something you should not do. All right. So he decides to go to the party. He meets up with Charlie. And Charlie's a beautiful woman, like I said. Her address here, in the book, in the movie, her address is 2250 West Ohio Street. I know that area very well. There is not there's not an apartment building there. Okay, it's like a business building. Okay, so the actual address that she's at, okay, it looks a hell of a lot more like 25 West Chestnut. And how do I know that? Because I have a friend that lived in that building. Okay, so I have been in that building, all right? One of my guy friends, Scott, used to live in that building. I think he lived on the 8th or 9th floor. I don't remember for sure. It's been many, many years. Okay, but yeah, he lived in that building, and that's what it looks like. Okay, but in the movie, it's 2250 West Chestnut, West Ohio, which it is not in real life. Okay, but anyway, so he goes there. Catherine Zeta-Jones, he brings a bottle of wine, and she calls him Jelly Bean. "Hey there, Jelly Bean." And she acts like nothing has happened. Okay, she acts like she doesn't She acts like she doesn't realize that the very last time that she saw him face to face, he was outside in the fucking rain at night, crying his eyes out because she was upstairs in bed with another man. Okay, that was the last time she had seen him, and all that she just ignores it. It doesn't matter. Well, of course, that's what all Rob is thinking about. He even remembers the guy's name. His name was Marco. That's the guy that she cheated on him with, that she left him for, Marco. Okay, so He's been thinking about that all these years. He's been wondering, why the fuck did Charlie leave me for Marco? Well, he kind of understands, because Marco was a good-looking guy. He's more successful, he knew he was more into the same things that she was into, whereas he was more of a lapdog. He would basically just kiss her ass and carry her groceries up the stairs and do whatever she wanted, that kind of thing. He put her so far, she was on such a high pedestal that he couldn't really see her for what she was, all right? But he's here at this party. His party's full of these artsy-fartsy friends. They look just like the fucking assholes, the faculty faculty from the fucking art school. I used to go to the art school. I went to the Art Institute of Chicago, the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, and these assholes look just like the fucking faculty from SAIC, okay, in Chicago, all right? And, this one motherfucker's even wearing a fucking Peruvian hat in 1999, okay? And this is like way before 2014 where every motherfucker had a Peruvian hat on, okay? But he's got one on at the dinner table, okay? So she's there. All of her friends, okay, they're artsy fartsy motherfuckers talking about bullshit, acting like it's important because it's important to them, okay? And they're ignoring Rob. They just blow him off. Like Charlie introduces him to everyone. They're just like, and they go back to talking about whatever fucking pretentious fucking bullshit they were talking about anyway. So once the dinner night is over, Rob does notice something while they're having dinner. The candlelight dinner with all these people, these strangers that are not talking to him. He does notice that Charlie keeps looking at him every once in a while, smiling at him, and at one point she's like that to him, all right? Catherine Zeta-Jones was, yeah, that would turn me on too if Catherine Zeta-Jones did that to me, at least back then. She don't look so good now, okay? But he's noticing, so he's starting to pay attention, okay? He realizes something about himself, okay? He's listening to what all these people are talking about, and he says he's not some cultural warrior, he's not some class warrior, okay? Yes, he envies their money, he envies their opinions, which I don't, okay? He envies all these kind of things about them, but yet he's not really necessarily jealous of them. He doesn't think that they're bad people, okay? He just starts to notice something about Charlie that he didn't never noticed before. Charlie is full of shit. All right. Okay. He's like, they're not bad people. I'm not some class warrior. Okay. But Charlie is full of shit. Now, I used to date a girl named I can say her name. Damn it, she could be watching this. Okay. But I dated a girl. Okay, who was a curator at a museum. Okay, and she went to art school. All right. And so here in downtown. Okay, here in the city that I live in. No, I'm not gonna tell you what city I'm living in. Okay, but anyway, so we used to go down, and oh my God, we go to some parties with our friends, and they were exactly like these people, exactly, just these pretentious motherfuckers talking about stupid ass shit that has no bearing on society at all, but it's important to them, so therefore it's supposed to be important to me, and luckily I can hold a conversation, I did go to art school, like I said, so I can talk about Dali, I can talk about Seurat, I can talk about Da Vinci, I can talk about my favorite namesake artist, Diego Rivera, I can talk about all that shit, Pablo Picasso, I know neoclassicism, German expressionism, romanticism, cubism, neo-Gothic architecture. I know my shit when it comes to art, okay? So luckily I can hold a conversation, okay? I even met Hockney once, okay? I can hold my conversation, but still, I like superhero movies. I like action movies. I like military movies. You give me a fucking, Jean-Claude Van Damme movie where he's kickboxing some asshole, like in The Expendables or some shit, like, Stallone or Schwarzenegger. You give me some of that, I'm in fucking heaven. All right? But yeah. And these people are definitely not about that. They ain't about that life. Okay, well, I'm a veteran. Okay, I was in the Marines, all right? So fuck. Okay, I'm just naturally that way. I was a kickboxer too. You think these motherfuckers at art school practice kickboxing? Fuck no, they don't. Okay? They'd rather talk about stupid ass shit like fucking pride flags and stuff. Anyway, so that's going on. And Rob realized that Charlie is actually an awful person, okay? She doesn't listen to anyone. She says terrible and stupid things. Okay, she has no sense of humor, and she talks a lot of shit. Okay, wow, he just described Catherine Zeta-Jones for real. I thought she was supposed to be acting. This is before she gold-digged her way into Michael Douglas's wallet, okay? This is before that. She had not won her Oscar for Chicago, the musical yet, okay, with Renee Zellweger, okay, that gay fucking shit. Okay, she had not won it yet, and I used to work right around the corner from the Chicago theater, okay? So she had not won that Oscar yet, so she was still an up-and-coming actress when she made this movie. Okay, she had already done Zorro, okay, but she was a rising star at this time. Okay, she wasn't a big name yet. She hadn't won her Academy Award yet. All right. So he realized that she's an awful person. Okay, she talks a lot of shit, and she does that all night long. Okay, and maybe that she's always been that way. He just never realized it. Okay, which is true. We don't. Whenever you put someone on a pedestal, you don't see them. You only see the bottom of them. You're looking up at them. You can't really see them. They're not at eye level. Okay, they're not equal to you. Okay, and that's what Rob did. Okay, she was so smart, so beautiful, so flirtatious. She was an alpha woman. Definitely, she definitely led the relationship with him. He was too afraid to do anything. He was so afraid of losing her that he lost her. Because he wasn't thinking about the things that made him happy. He wasn't thinking about her enhancing his life. He was thinking about making her happy all the fucking time, despite he wasn't doing what he wanted to do. He thought that making her happy was going to make him happy, and it didn't. It didn't. That whole bullshit about happy wife, happy life, that's fucking bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. More like happy spouse, happy house, okay? Which means it could be either gender. It could be either one, the man or the woman, okay? That's fucking bullshit. If the husband ain't happy, you ain't going to be fucking happy either, bitch, okay? So you got to remember that, all right? So anyway, yeah, exactly. That goes for relationships, okay? But he couldn't see her because he pedestaled her, okay? I've done that a couple times, not so much in middle age or my 30s, but I definitely did that like in my 20s. You know, there were certain girls that I was just like, oh my God, I can think of one right now. When I was in the Marines, I was dating this girl, and yeah, she was a stripper, okay? All right, what the fuck? I was in the Marines, all right? And oh my God, my friends were so fucking jealous. My friends were so fucking jealous of how hot this girl was. You know, always coming over to my room, my barracks room and stuff, you know. And I just worshiped the ground she walked on because she was so fucking hot. I mean, she was a 10. She was a 10. You know, I wasn't used to dating 10s. I've dated 7s and 8s and 9s occasionally, but a 10 was very rare for me to date. And here was a fucking 10. Okay, so I was the envy of all the guys in my fucking barracks. All right. So yeah, I pedestalized her, and what happened? Of course she left me. Of course she left me. You know, that's what 10s do. They're climbing up the social ladder. They're monkey branching. You know, they're trying to find a bigger, better guy, a bigger, better deal. You know, it's the truth. So what the fuck, you know? Luckily, I wasn't with her long enough to fall in love with her. But yeah, it happens. Okay. And that's what happened. That's what happened to him, okay? And that's what Catherine Zeta-Jones did in real life too, okay? So yeah, you think she married Michael Douglas for his fucking for his looks? He's a good fucking 30 years older than her. No, he married her for his money, okay? He owns a movie production company, which just happened to fucking finance all the movies that she starred in after she married him. Ooh, what a coincidence! Anyway, moving right along. So he realized that she's been talking shit this whole time. He never realized it before. You know, like I said, he put her above him. Okay, so Rob stays after all the guests leave. So after Charlie says goodbye to everybody, Rob sits there, just sulking there on the couch. You know, and now it's just him and Charlie, and she's all kind of excited. You could tell that maybe something's going to happen. I mean, she would not have invited him if she didn't want to fuck. Okay, that's exactly what I would have thought. I would have thought, okay, once these people, I would have like read the room and see what's going on. Is there a guy in here that she's interested in? If not, then I'm going to assume it's going to be me. I'm the guy that she's interested in. Okay, and I'm going to play along with that. Now, me personally, what I would have done if I could see someone like that, someone who broke my heart, and see them again, you know, I would have fucked her. I would have slept with her. Okay, and then after we've done all that, then I would have brought up the question. Okay, and I wouldn't have brought it up as bluntly as he does. I would have like worked it into the conversation somehow. Yeah. So whatever happened with Marco? That's what I would have said. And then she would have told me, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. You know, but you did leave me for him. You know, and then that would have been okay. I wouldn't have just said what Rob says. So here she is, all happy and giddy, and she sits down next to him on the couch. Okay, and then so she sits down next to him on the couch, and he looks at her and he says like, so why did you dump me for Marco? Like, no conversation. He didn't work his way into it. He didn't sleep with her. None of that. He just says, so why did you dump me for Marco? Guys, don't do this. Don't do this. You got to test the waters first before you throw shit like that in there, okay? And so what does Charlie do? She immediately goes like, fuck! 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 And then she gets up. I knew it! I fucking knew it! Fuck! Fuck! And then she moves and sits at the couch across from him now. She's not sitting next to him anymore, okay? She's like, You are going through one of those what does it all fucking mean phases in your life, aren't you? Oh my God, I can't believe you, Rob. Because she's got her arms on the couch. And Rob's like, yes, I am. Very much so. So that happens, okay? Now, we don't see them have the conversation. The very next scene we see Rob leaving her apartment building without her. He's walking out of the front door. There's the awning right there. Like, that's where you get the address, 2250 West Ohio, which it is not. It actually looks a lot more like 25 West Chestnut, okay? But it's in the neighborhood there. It's in the Gold Coast. Okay, so he's walking out of there, and he's talking out loud. He's like, come on, Charlie, answer the question. Come on. Don't hold back. I deserve to know. And he's saying this out loud, okay? Why'd you dump me for Marco? Okay, then we see Charlie talking, okay? And she says, Marco seemed more glamorous, more sure of himself, less hard work, a little sunnier, sparkier, you know? Which, yeah, like I said before, girls are always gonna fucking, well, she was, I'm guessing they were in their 20s when they dated, so yeah, they're still young, they're still figuring things out, yeah, girls are, hypergamy is a fucking real thing, man, it's a real fucking thing, okay, and for all you feminists out there that are pissed off at me for saying that, look around, okay, guys, we're not fucking blind, ladies, we look around, we see the kind of girls, and we see what kind of guys they get with, okay, just because you don't fucking see that in a rom-com doesn't mean we're not paying attention. Okay, we're living in the real rom-com. Okay, it was called real life. Okay, we're not in fucking bullshit fucking Meg Ryan, Julia Roberts land. Okay, we're in the fucking real world, and we see the women. We're attracted. We see the guys that they're with, and we pay attention to that shit. We watch what kind of cars do they drive, what kind of clothes are they wearing, what kind of haircuts do they have. That kind of, we pay attention to that shit, okay? And after a while, you start to see some common denominators, okay? So don't give me that fucking bullshit about fucking, like, it's just, it's not about looks, it's about, like, how you treat me, how much you're, bull fucking shit, okay? Get the fuck out of there with that noise, okay? The guys that get laid the most, okay? The guys that get laid don't have any of that shit. The guys that get laid the most are fucking pimps and fucking drug dealers, okay? They get more ass than a fucking toilet seat, all right? And, of course, like, celebrities, musicians and shit, that kind of thing, movie stars, that kind of thing, okay? Other than that, no, don't give me that bullshit about, you just have to respect her, but get the fuck out of here, okay? What you have to do is be valuable, okay? The guys shouldn't have to be out there hitting on girls, okay? The girls hit on them, okay? They have to be something worth a shit, okay? If you're something worth a shit, the girl's gonna come to you. You don't have to fucking go out there and talk to girls. But if you're not, if you're poor, if you're not that great looking, all that kind of stuff, okay, then you're gonna have to work harder than the guys that are already born with that shit or already achieved that shit, okay? That's the honest God truth, okay? And that's what happened here. Marco had those qualities and Rob did not, so she went for the bigger, better deal, okay? I don't necessarily blame her for it, she wants, if it was up to me, if I was with a girl who was average looking, but yet there was another girl that wanted me that was a lot better looking, I would go with the better looking girl too. Of course, of course I would. All right, so I'm not judging her or anything like that. She moved up. She traded up. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay, but you got to remember, are you really trading up? A lot of times, people, men and women, they'll trade what they think is trading up. They're actually trading down. Okay, they're actually trading down. Okay. So anyway, so that happens. The next scene that we see is Barry's at the store, okay? And he has a sign on the store that he says he's looking for a band, okay, looking for a guitarist, okay? Now, all of a sudden, this customer walks in the door, and the customer, obviously, I recognize him as Kirk Hammett, okay? For those of you who don't know who that is, Kirk Hammett is the lead guitarist of Metallica, okay? Yes. The greatest heavy metal band that ever lived, Metallica. He is the lead guitarist. So obviously he's doing his cameo here. Okay, and he goes up to Barry, who's played by Jack Black. It's Jack Black there, sitting behind the counter. He's reading the newspaper, and the guy says, like, hey, the ad up there, is it serious? And and Barry's like, yes. He's like, well, what kind of instrument do you play? And Jack Black says, like, I don't play anything. He's like, okay, well, we're looking for someone. He's like, okay, we want to maintain our pop sensibilities. Obviously, this is a tongue-in-cheek joke. Okay, and there's one thing Metallica does not play is pop music. Okay, they're like the anti-pop music. All right, listen to their fucking shit. Listen to Jump in the Fire. Listen to One. Okay, they're fucking incredible. Okay, when it comes to heavy metal, they are fucking the best heavy metal band that ever fucking lived. All right. He said we want to maintain our pop sensibilities, but go a little further out. You should come by, on Tuesday, and we'll, he writes down his address and phone number. He's like, just come by Tuesday, and we'll, just jam. And Barry's like, okay. And then the guy walks out, and then fucking Kirk Hammett walks out, okay? Now, obviously, this is a meta joke, okay? Like I said, it's fucking Metallica, it's Kirk Hammett, all right? I have been to one Metallica concert in my life. No, I've been to two. One when I was in high school, and one when I worked at a stadium. I worked a concert, okay? Yes, I have seen them play in real life, okay? They're fucking incredible. Oh, my God. Lars on the fucking drums, he's fucking awesome. Anyway, moving right along. So that happens here. Now Rob and Dick, Dick is Rob's other employee. They're at the store. They see the entire exchange, and Rob goes up. He goes like, "What the hell? You've had that sign up there for 17,000 years. You know, I don't. Well, why aren't you excited? The guy just gave you his card. And he's like, it's just a garage band, Rob. You know, he's like, dude, you don't even play an instrument. He's like, I sing. Hello. Well, yeah. I mean, in real life, Jack Black is in a band, Tenacious D. Okay, he's in a real band. Okay. So yeah, so that's going on here. Okay, and he's like, it's just a garage band. Okay. And by the way, I can sing, Rob. What, you think I'm going to spend the rest of my life here? Yeah, I actually kind of thought you would, right? which just calls out the odds. Everyone's thinking that, okay? Dick is thinking that, and Rob is thinking that as well, okay? It's like the Saturday Night Fever of like the modern age, okay? And he's like, it's just a garage band, you know? I'm not gonna spend the rest of my life here, you know? Now after we're down, now they're about to close up shop. Now it's closing time, and usually the three guys go out to work. They go out to drink after they close up the shop. But in this case, Dick bails out. He's like, no, I'm not gonna be able to meet you after work. I've got plans, you know. And Barry looks at him and is like, what plans? What are you talking about, Dick? What, what kind of plans, Dick? He's like, oh, you know, I just have to meet someone, you know. He's like, Rob, did you hear that? Is Dick getting some? Oh my God, Dick, are you getting some? If you see Dick, he's a skinny, bald, white guy, very, very soft-spoken. He kind of talks like this and a little bit scatterbrained, but he knows a lot about music. You know, like that. He's like that, okay? Very passive, okay? Beta all the fucking way. And because of that, Jack Blackberry likes to pick on him because he knows that he ain't gonna say shit. Okay, he's like, "Oh, no fucking way, Dick is getting some," you know. He's like, oh. You know, Barry's like, "Unfucking believable! Dick has a hot date. How is this possible? What's her name?" Her name is Anna. Anna Moss. He's like, Moss? So is she like green and fuzzy? Where did you meet her? At the home for the mentally challenged or the bus stop? I can't help laughing, okay? Like, I was in the Marines, okay? And we used to have a guy there. I ain't gonna say his name. We called him Shunk, okay? Okay, we called him Shunk. And this guy just had no fucking game. This guy was like in his mid-20s. He was a virgin. He's in mid-20s. He was just had no game at all, okay? Women did not find him attractive. He had no self-confidence. He was like this guy, Dick here. Okay, very soft-spoken, very meek, very cowardly, you know. He's a skinny guy, you know. He's with big glasses, you know, and just like, oh my God, the guys would rip him all the fucking time, you know, because they call his glasses the BC glasses, you know, birth control glasses, because he'll never get laid wearing them. And watching this scene just reminded me of that guy, okay. So yeah, like, so, you know, of course he's making fun of him, you know. he's like, oh man, Anna, that's great. Hey, Dick, you know what? When you meet up with Anna, you need to smoke that ass. Well, okay. Well, the girl Anna is played by Sarah Gilbert. Okay, who y'all know her. She played Darlene on Roseanne, and she's still playing Darlene some fucking 30-something years later, you know, on the Connors, okay? That show's still around, okay? Remember they fired Roseanne, okay, but they kept the family, they kept the rest of the cast members. None of the cast members stuck up for her, all right? Even though she created the show, and the whole show was based on her fucking life. Anyway, but because she voted for Trump, the network had to get rid of her. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so she still plays Darlene Connor on Roseanne, or the Connors now. Okay, yes, that's Sarah Gilbert. Okay, she's in this movie. She plays the girl Anna Moss. Okay, now yes, she is playing a heterosexual person, but I don't believe her. I didn't believe her when she was on Roseanne either. Okay, she always seemed to me like a lesbian. Okay, she was never fooling anybody. So when she came out as a lesbian, it was no fucking shock to me at all. Okay, I was wondering why what took her so long. Okay, even when she was a girl, she still rang lesbian to me. Like, even when I was a kid, watched her on TV, she was still a lesbian to me. So I don't, you know, she wasn't fooling anybody. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So anyway, so that's going on here, okay, and and so they leave, okay. So Barry leaves too, okay. So Rob's there. He's about to lock up the store. He's about to lock it up there, and he looks out the window and he sees Dick there, and he sees Anna, okay. Like I said, Sarah Gilbert. He sees them across the street, and they see each other, and then they hug each other. They embrace, okay, and they look very happy. They actually look very, very happy, and you could tell that built of that tinge of fucking jealousy, that tinge of loss. And you can see it in Rob's face, okay, when he sees his friend, this pathetic beta male guy, okay, that works for him, that's this nerdy guy, with no game, no self-esteem, but yet even he can find somebody that he can be happy with, somebody that gives him the butterflies in his stomach, and you can tell the way she's looking at him, that she feels it too. Okay, she's got the butterflies for him as well. So here are these two people that are not the best looking people in the world. Neither one of them is. Okay, but they're happy. They're happy, and they seem very, very happy. They seem very much in love, and they seem very comfortable around each other. And Rob. Here's Rob, who fucking feels, him and Barry both feel they're above Dick in a lot of ways, because they know more than him and stuff like that. They're more sociable than he is, but at that moment you could tell Rob is actually jealous of Dick at that moment, because Dick has somebody, and Rob doesn't. He has nobody, and that is it's sad. It's sad, because I know we've all been there. We've all been there. We've all been single, then looked at a couple that looked really happy and wished that we could have that too. I know I have. So yeah, I totally relate. That's another thing, about that you see, like Chic-Flicks always deal with this issue. You never see this from a guy's point of view. You never see it from a guy's point of view. But here it is, jealousy. Yes, sometimes we get jealous, we get lonely, and we get jealous, of guys that are with somebody, and we're not. Yeah, absolutely. Of course it happens to us too. You're not going to see that in a chick flick, but it's true. We get lonely too. Yeah, go figure. We're human beings. Okay. So that happens, okay, and then he goes back to his apartment, okay? And when he gets back to his apartment, guess who's there? Laura, his current ex-girlfriend, okay? And she's there with a big bag of her shit, okay? And she is in the kitchen reading a list that Rob made that was private. He made a list called "In My Top 5 Dream Jobs," okay? And she's there reading it when Rob comes home. And Rob was not expecting her to be there. Okay, so he's kind of shocked that she's there. He tells her it's private, don't read that, okay? And then we will move on to that scene in the next video, okay? So I thank you very much for watching as long as you have. I will see you very soon, and have a good day.